tell me that actually this has been better than you expected to be. I'm not sure what you were expecting, but I'm pleased that you're having a good time. And I can tell from the level of conversation, from the connections, from the laughter, that it is bringing back lots of many very happy memories. Well, I'd love to give you a good call. We would always welcome you back any time. I hope as you had a tour around the school this morning, you had a chance to see that some things at St Hilda's have changed a lot. And those of you who are boarders, wait till you see Tolka. Yeah, that is amazing. However, I want to reassure you that the most important things have stayed the same. The things that have been consistent for the last 125 years have been a passion for empowering young women, to educate them, to help them go out into a community, to be productive, effective, compassionate members of a society. That hasn't changed. The forethought that goes into being at the front and the thought leadership around women's education, that hasn't changed. And the importance of the women who have gone before them to our current students, that will never change. They stand on your shoulders. The changes, the initiatives, the developments that happened when you were at school, our girls have benefited from, as you benefited from those who went before. And I think the biggest thing for me this week has been, whether it's been having Ona Gala in assembly, cutting cakes, fashion parades, dress up, special cathedral services, it's about giving our girls a sense of the legacy that is now theirs to take forward, of the importance of 125 years of really forward-thinking education, but also that sense of being part of something much bigger than themselves. We continue to look to the future at St Hilda's. We are a school of 450 students. We capped at that because we're now integrated, and we have 160 boarders. We are full at the moment, and we have strong interest in our boarding and day places. And that continues to be because we really think carefully about the type of environment we want our young women to grow and flourish in. Brené Brown, the American researcher, talks about the difference between fitting in and belonging. When you fit in, you try to be who you think you need to be accepted. But when you belong, you're able to be yourself, who you truly are. And we really push that at school, that it is about belonging. We can all fit in. A uniform helps us to fit in, but it doesn't help us to belong. That only happens when we feel safe enough to be our true selves. And that is something that is really important to us. We continue to look to the future in terms of our facilities. Hopefully, if you were in room 103, you saw the wonderful display of the past years. You also saw our vision for the future, the development of Whitby and the chapel. It was easy to host 500 odd people in the chapel last night because we have no furniture in our chapel. And I worry that we have a generation of girls who will have been at St Hilda's and thought everyone sits on the floor when they go to church. However, we continue to have a vision for developing the chapel and Whitby into a really modern, flexible place of community, of connection, of compassion, as well as worship. And that Whitby develops into a modern, beautiful library with wonderful views out over the city. So our girls continue to feel connected in a community that they belong to, or the schools belong to, for a very long time. We don't want to be a bubble in Murray Hill that sits up looking out over everybody else. We want our girls connected, and that very visual, physical, tangible connection is being able to look out over that city and feel like they belong. So that development is ongoing, and we're excited about the plans for the Whitby Chapel, and hopefully you might have had a chance to have a look at the new staff room. I think some of our staff are now living in the staff room. I'm there early in the morning and late at night, they're still there. But it has been a wonderful development for us to show our staff how valued they are. And when you value staff and they feel looked after and cared for, that impacts on every student in the school. And that's been a really, really positive development. So while things have changed, while things will always move forward, be reassured that the very heart of St Hilda's has stayed the same. And the things that you remember positively, the friendships, the wonderful teaching, the connection, the boarding, all the things that were positive, and I'm holding generally to the idea that you do have positive memories. Those are things that are still, that we continue to develop and evolve as well. But I know that I only bring, as the principal, I only bring one perspective, probably a very biased perspective. If you really want to know how the school's going, I hope you ask some of the girls as they showed you around today. And I'd now like to welcome Libby Drummond, who's a boarder from Wilden, and Libby is our head girl in 2021. Please welcome her.
My name is Libby Drummond, and I feel very privileged to be the head girl of St Hilda's for 2021. I grew up on a farm in rural West Otago and came to St Hilda's in 2017 as a Year 9 boarder. I'm excited to welcome you all back to St Hilda's and share some history of the school and how it has developed over the years. I feel honoured to be a leader at St Hilda's during the 125th year. In 1908, Violet Thompson was the first head prefect of St Hilda's. I wonder what it was like for her to be the first, happy to make her own way in the role, without a role model or predecessor to gain ideas from or look up to. The school itself was very different at the time, with a kindergarten and a primary school, and girls as young as 5 or 6 living in the boarding house. The uniform was navy blue with a red blouse, and boarders were only allowed 1 hot bath per week. The rest were cold. They also had to seek permission from the sisters if they wished to wash more than 1 blouse each week. In the winter, girls had soup mid-morning, and the meals were not remembered fondly. Boys attended the kindergarten and primary school. It is hard to imagine what their lives are like, but some things have not changed. They attended chapel, played different sports, belonged to various clubs, complained about their homework, and made lifelong friends. Sister Geraldine died that same year, 1908. She was greatly missed. She was remembered as a gentle woman with kind nature, and always referred to her students as dear girls. But she also must have been resilient, brave, and full of courage to travel to New Zealand by ship and begin a girls' school in a time when education for girls was not thought of as being important. Sister Geraldine and Sister Evelyn would have had many challenges to overcome, but the legacy of what they founded in 1896 is still very strong in the school today. Our values of be you, can do, better together, and explore faith are very much in line with the Sisters' vision of St Hilda's 125 years ago. As the 117th head prefect of St Hilda's, I would like to share my thoughts on what St Hilda's is like for the girls who learn here today. The vision that the sisters had in shaped and lived by and carrying the education of women to help forge their own path is strongly embedded in our school culture today. The teachers play a huge role in this. They are always encouraging and inspiring every girl to do their best. I feel reassured walking into every period knowing that each teacher has my back, both in and out of the classroom. The opportunities on offer at St Hilda's are also an integral part of the Sisters' vision. This includes a wide range of sporting, cultural, academic and service groups, keeping the girls busy pursuing their passions, trying something new and involving themselves in the school community. These activities can range from clubs, coaching, production, theatre sports, maths competitions and cricket. Throughout the wide range of opportunities, every single girl is able to flourish, become more confident, and express themselves as an individual. It is very humbling to be part of a school that accepts and promotes diversity. Coming from a small town and having access to such an array of opportunities has been extremely inspiring. I have been able to pursue my interests in ways I would have never imagined, something I believe is so important about the school. For me, the sisterhood culture is probably my favourite part. The relationships throughout all the year groups is unique to St Hilda's. The support and nurturing from the seniors to the juniors at both school and Tolkien fundamental foundation to our achievements, both in academic and sports. Our whānau and tango groups create a sense of belonging and are valued by all the girls. It's just like having your own wee family at the school, encircled by girls and teachers you trust and feel supported by. Just last week, we were celebrating International Women's Day. The prefect saw this as an opportunity to empower girls to recognise the significance of equality for women. We decorated the archway, which is an annual tradition, held a scavenger hunt, created a Choose to Challenge video, had a chalk art competition, and got all of the year failures to dress in purple, green and white. Initiatives such as these are regular occurrences throughout the school, bringing our school community together and uplifting morale. St Hilda's has been a place for me and many other girls to gain one of the best educations on offer. We are spoilt for choice at Taupan with smoothie and sushi station, poke bowls and opera course. We are also able to use as much water as we choose. And the Taupan staff make it feel just like a second home. Over the past 3 years, I have made some amazing friends, had some awesome opportunities, and I couldn't imagine myself being anywhere else. Finally, I would like to thank you all for coming today. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend, reconnecting with one another and the school, and spending time reminiscing about special times spent at St Hilda's.